Welcome, thank you for coming out. If you could, just give us a brief introduction, where you guys are from, who you are lately, and what's playing the concert this year.
Yes, I'm Brian Slay, head football coach here at Oakton High School. With me, I got going down the road, I got Qais, Jack, Deylen, Preston, and Wesley. This year, we're from Vienna, Virginia, Northern Region. This year, our expectations, we're just not trying to set anything too high, put too much pressure on these guys. We're just trying to be better each day. Every day we come in, we're trying to have that be our best day. I think when we keep doing that, we'll be exactly when we accomplish our goals where we as a team we've set and we know we can get to.
Is there anything you want to tell fans out there?
Come on out this year. It's going to definitely different energy around here at Oakton High School. Most people when they hear Vienna, they think it's a school across the street, but we're going to play some good football. We're going to play some tough football this year.
Okay. Any words from the players?
Yeah, like Coach said, we want to get 1% better every single day. We all got a common goal, and we're fighting for it every single day. We're doing it for each other. We're doing it for the name that's on our chest, and we're going to go out and do that this fall. That's the goal.
All right. If nothing else, we can open this up to the media, if you'd like.
Hi, how are you? I'm Renee Anderson, and I cover high school football across Northern Virginia, DMV area. And just asking you, who do you have returning this year as far as your seniors? Did you lose a lot of seniors? Do you have a lot returning? And who do you look forward to leading this team and stepping up?
So last year we actually had a small senior class. If you look back and look at the kind of the date and timeline that sets out that class, their freshman year would have been the first year after COVID when they played that spring season. And our high school, spring sports are a big thing. We got a heavy baseball, heavy lacrosse population. So a lot of those kids who would have played that fall, being in the spring, they played their primary sport. So we came into, last year was my first year here at Oakton, came into a situation where we didn't have that many seniors. And then if you look back at kind of how the tradition and trends were going, they had two really, really good freshman classes that came in. So I knew coming in that we were going to be a young football team. I think overall we had 20 sophomores, played 20 sophomores last year. We only graduated probably 12 or 15 teams, and outside of that 12 or 15, I would say 8 to 10 of them kind of contributed for us last year. So we were very, very young football team last year. So we got a lot of guys coming back. You think we really lost a linebacker, Carson McCullough, was probably our biggest loss of last year, but other than that, we got a lot of young guys coming back and with a little bit more experience and playing good football experience.
Coach, Dwight Vick with Victory Life. I've always felt as a former player myself that, and I say this on all levels, high school, even youth football, college, and pro, the game is won on the LOS, the line of scrimmage with the offense and defensive linemen. Now, I'm a little biased, but I feel like that's where the games are won. Can you talk about, I know it's early right now, but like what your offensive defensive line are looking like right now and who is emerging as a leader and how cohesive do you think they'll be this season?
Was kind of just a little brief about me, myself. I was a lineman. I was really a lineman. I played D-line at NC State. So coming in, that was one of the big things I wanted to focus on. And no offense to these guys or anything like that, the technique, just blocking, was not where it needed to be at. So that's something that these guys will tell you. Every day I see them, we work on blocking and tackling and those type of things. So I think not only just that, if you look at what Oakton did before I got to Oakton, it was a pass-heavy offense. And those guys would just pass setting. Again, I was a D-lineman. If I knew you were passing every play, you made my life a little bit easier. You know what I mean? So last year, we had to really teach our guys how to come forward, how to get off the ball, how to move forward. So I think last year was probably our biggest struggle. And not even just that, we had to play our starting offensive linemen also had to go play D-line. Over a course of a game, a week, a season, that's going to wear down on those guys. So going into this offseason, that was another big emphasis of we got to get bigger, we got to get stronger, we got to really develop our line so that, one, we're not playing guys both sides of the way, especially our offensive linemen to keep those guys fresh. But as of right now, I think over the time that we spent on working on techniques and things like that, we've definitely had a huge improvement And now it's what you said, the cohesiveness, how to get those guys communicating to each other on a consistent basis to really get the run game going that we need to, really start getting pressure on the quarterback and not have to blitz every play, you know?
Coach, Carl, Prep Red Zone and all hitches. Questions for you and the team. You mentioned it in your introduction that, you know, a lot of people when they think of Vienna, they're thinking of the team across the street, James Madison. Is that like extra motivation for you guys, like with the recent success Madison has had? You know, and Oakton, you guys have been close, but not quite there yet. And just talk about that, if that's any extra motivation, or if like the Chantilly loss at the end of the season has sparked an extra motivation, because you seem like a different team this offseason.
It's what we just worry about ourselves. We can't worry about what's going on across the street, what's going on at these other high schools and things like that. If you do that, then you lose sight of what you need to work on, what you need to develop and things like that. I tell a story about last year, our first district game was against Centerville. And to me, I felt like going into that game, we were kind of more nervous than we should have been, because me as a coach was like, oh, this could be our first district win in X amount of years. And I taught myself, you know what, I'm not going to worry about or try to get them to think about, oh, this school and that school. We just got to get better. We just got to focus on ourselves.
Hey Brian, David Wilcott, Washington Post. I was just kind of curious at this point in the preseason, early on in August, just what's kind of the biggest difference between year one and year two now, especially with this young core, just having another year of experience playing together, just where you kind of feel like you guys are at now compared to last year?
Early signs of week one of this camp right now, I think the discipline that this team has is night and day. You know, last year, if you look at our games, we started almost every drive with some type of pre-snap penalty. And or we're lining up incorrectly, we're putting the ball on the floor. That's all mental, you know what I mean? Those are things that you can actually control. And I think so far this first week of camp, these guys are really showing a sign of, hey, they're getting that aspect. And then not only are they getting it, but they're holding each other accountable for it. As somebody jumps, it's not like, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, no, this is serious, because if you're going to do this now, you're probably going to jump off sides in the game. You might line up wrong, and I have to call a timeout and things like that. So I think our discipline where we're at right now is night and day.
Hey guys, Jake Brown from DC News Now. For the players, you've heard a lot from Coach today, and you probably heard a lot from during this preseason as well. Just what about what Coach Slay is kind of preaching at practice has you guys motivated to take that next step this season?
I think one of the biggest things that he always saying is being perfect at the things that don't take talent. That kind of reaches every single player on our team, you know, from whether it's, like you said, starting behind a line and stretch lines to reading your keys and following the pulling guard. I mean, that's just the biggest thing that has helped our team stay disciplined throughout the season.
Yeah, I think Oakton's always been a talented team, but not always believed in themselves like they should. I think Coach Slay has got us, you know, really believing in ourselves. The discipline he spoke about, you know, that's been showing up in preseason, and I'm excited to see it in the games. Last year, we just saw a glimpse of it, but next year, I'm sure that it's going to come out in full with these guys getting more experience. The young team that we've had, having another year on varsity, I'm sure it's going to pay dividends this season.
Yeah, I want to ask the seniors, just this young group last year, just having another year of experience together, what has it been like for you guys just stepping into an even larger leadership role, especially knowing kind of the talent you guys have and now the growing chemistry you guys have had over the last year?
Yeah, I think team chemistry is very important. When guys mesh together and know where each other are going to be on the field, it's a big difference, and you could see the difference when guys are gelling together and they're on the field making plays together. It's kind of natural at a certain point when you've played with guys so long, when you know what guys' tendencies are and the guys next to you, what they're going to do and where they're going to be. It helps you know where you should be and how to make plays with them alongside them. It's the cohesiveness that you guys spoke about earlier. It shows on the field when you've played with guys for multiple years and you've practiced with them every day and you build a team chemistry that you didn't have previously.
This question is for Jack, quarterback. You hear Coach Slade talking about when he first got there, pass-heavy offense, and now he wants to have more of a balanced attack. How involved are you in the game planning? Do you guys have a good rapport where you can kind of give him some input? And you didn't take offense to the passing attack, did you? Okay.
No. Obviously, I love throwing the ball. You know, our freshman team, my freshman year, we were very pass-heavy as well, but once teams start to get smart, you know, they'll drop guys back into coverage, but he's really helpful with kind of the process and adding a run game to our system so we can be a more dominant team. And I can also see things on the field that he can't see just from the sideline. So I'm always comfortable to go talk to him, sort things out, to make on the fly adjustments, just trying to do anything to make our team better.
Okay, so I heard who the quarterback was. I want to know what position each of you guys play, and what do you look to improve on this year from last year?
I'll start. My name is Qais Khairzad, and I'm a middle linebacker. One thing to improve, one thing to be train every practice in the game. Like, we gotta go into practice knowing this is what we're gonna do in the game, and just like treat it as that.
I'm Jack Martin. I'm the quarterback, and this year I just want our team to be as efficient as possible, whether it's in a practice or in a game.
I'm Deylen Jones. I play receiver and safety. I go both ways. This year I'd like us to focus on the mental aspect of the game and understanding why and when things are going to happen. Down and distance, those type of things are very important in high school football to win games.
My name is Preston Schwartz. I play receiver and defensive back, and definitely this year, the team should definitely need to improve on just emphasizing little things, and which Coach Slay's done a great job doing that in the offseason because he knows that's going to help us during the game.
I'm Wesley Lattus. I play O-line. I agree with what everyone's saying. I think the little things definitely matter. Like not just outside, watching the ball, stuff like that too.
This question is for Wesley. You committed to Old Dominion back in April, and you had a lot of interest too. I just curious in your process for that too. Did you want to get the recruitment out of the way so you could focus on the season, or take us through your recruiting process too, because you had a lot of interest?
Yeah. I always liked ODU. I think Coach Khairzad does an amazing job O-line over there. I think the coaching staff's amazing at ODU. So it really was a kind of like a no-brainer to commit there. I think they do everything really well. I'm really happy with ODU.
Yeah, question for the players. Coach Slate seems real relaxed right now, real cool. He's just, smiling right now. Can one of you talk about some intense moments? I know it's early in camp right now, but maybe even for those that played last year, what kind of moments, clean version, when you guys are not performing the way you should be, how does he hold you guys accountable?
Well, Coach Slay always holds us accountable. He's very adamant about the things that he preaches towards us, and if we're not doing our jobs, he'll let us know. We've had many occasions, but we get it back on track afterwards. So I think it's part of how he coaches. It's part of his personality. It's something that you get to know, something that you become accustomed to once you play for him for a while. But it's out of love. He's just trying to make you better, just trying to get us where we need to be. So when he does that, you kind of just got to take it on the chin, and move on to the next play. You gotta take it knowing that he's trying to get you to where you need to be. He's trying to get you where he thinks that we need to be as a team. He's trying to tell you what you need to understand so that you can get it right the next time.
Also, I think a lot of the topics he harps on aren't just going to help us win when you look at the scoreboard. They'll help us win later in life. That's a big thing that he is. Big things big on is being good young gentlemen, and then helping us later in life.
Jack, I just wanted to ask, I know obviously we have a lot of dangerous wideouts, obviously Deylen and Preston are here, but other guys as well that you now have a year of varsity experience with as well. How important has those last years just getting you guys to the point where you're kind of on similar wavelengths, and how you think that's kind of just developed over the course of this offseason heading into this year?
Last year, definitely, I was able to recognize, guys' speeds, guys' agility, guys' talent level, but this offseason we've been out to the field all the time, getting chemistry down, so I think we'll be very dangerous, where now you can't just double up one guy. Deylen on the field will have 3 to 4 to 5 guys on the field that will beat every single. I'm confident if they're playing man-to-man coverage, I can throw it to any single one of them anytime, and it'll be a touchdown. So.
All right, before we let you go, coaches and players, could you just give us thoughts about the experience today? How do you guys like the photo area? How have you been enjoying yourself?
I've enjoyed our experience today. I thought we got a nice platform to say we were thinking about the season, going into the season. I enjoyed the photo shoot, got to take some fun poses with my teammates. I think you guys made us feel pretty welcome this morning. Deylen gave us some food, told us what we had to do. and we got rolling pretty quickly. In and out, good operation. I think it was a fun day.
Thank you. Coaches, players, best of luck this season. Have a great day.
Thank you.